Hey, it's Spence from LaunchFlows.com, and as a follow-up from my video yesterday introducing a new product I'm going to release this week, which is basically tab checkouts. We're going to have a series of one short code, one widget component checkouts that will simplify and actually deliver to you the same experience that you might get from something, I don't know, like Shopify. And the idea here is like, here's a Shopify store, and you notice it kind of has this format of I bounced out of it here. Let me go back here, where you can tab in between the individual steps, right? Now, I have some styling and other things I'm going to apply, but I thought it would be really neat, and I brought this idea up a while back, but now the time has come, where wouldn't it be cool if you just put in one short code or one widget and you got the experience you needed, regardless of your underlying theme. And so that's what I'm delivering here. From yesterday's video, I've improved the style a little bit out of the box. Of course, this still retains a certain element of WooCommerce-ness to it because it is a different product. But here's the basic premise. All you need to do is put in one short code. Here I'm using this in combination with the amazing Editor Plus plugin by Extendify that allows us to go ahead and create the kind of outline for various things or style for various things on the Gutenberg blocks. So what I did is I took the one short code, LF tab checkout. That puts in the components I need into this otherwise ready to go layout for the kind of shopping experience for, the thing I'm looking at. Here you'll notice that I can either use the navigation breadcrumbs or I can use the handy button. And when I switch, it moves me to each of the stages along the way. Now, before I release this, going to add the various other components that we kind of can get from here, like the proper labels. And the idea is that WooCommerce already has the components that have their own labels, but there's all this variety and all these choices. You can still do that. You can still do everything by hand. I'm just saying for some people, they said, Spence, I got my own theme, I got my own style, but I just want the experience of what this delivers, and I want it to just look all the same and look proper. And I think that's what I'm going for here, is the idea that I'll just stylize all the various components so that all you have to do is put in one short code and then the rest of the page you make look and feel the way you want. And in doing that, I think we're going to have a much better ability to build complex stuff. You'll notice that what I also did here was I used the LF bump, which is one of our features with product number 12, so that I can use that on this page for either the primary product being added to the cart or in this case, an order bump or something else. That gives me the flexibility of having this particular component, which I can save as a reusable block, use it anywhere, or what I can do is combine it with other components as I wish, or like I can do here, I can click on the group and I can change the border color and all the other things about it with Editor Plus. If I want, I can even change the order of the two things. So if I want, I could take the tab checkout and I can, in this case, drag it, put it above the order bump, update it. And the neat thing about this too, because I've already done the tab thing with Elementor before, is that I've made the tab feature something that you don't have to worry about. Like you don't have to put the shortcodes in, you don't have to style the things, you don't have to make the buttons work. I will make the buttons translatable using one of the default plugins like Loco Translate. So if you have another language or you have several languages, it'll just pick up the language of your choice that you can edit and make anything you want it to say. And that'll also include the labels here, just like it already does for WooCommerce. So I was happy to show you this because it's on its way. When it's finally done, the core of this behavior of this one will look a lot like the Shopify one. But I'm also going to try to pick up the styling of other really popular checkouts, things like maybe Amazon, ClickFunnels, Kajabi, and so forth. If you have other ones that you think are inspiring, let me know. And then finally, I just want to remind you this again. You can use something like the Gutenberg Hub to add to this particular layout. So for example, if I go over to the Gutenberg Hub, I can look at existing patterns for sections, and I can just choose ones that apply to me, and I can just add them in, right? So for example, let's pick something that's not crazy. I don't know, something like this. If I wanted to just add this in my layout, I just click here, copy the button, and then I go to my checkout page, and I like to add it at the bottom so that it's easy to understand where I'm at. So I just click on a plus sign, I have to remind myself, and then paste. And now I've got this component, which again, I can move up into the top of my layout, Or I can mix and match. Sometimes I like to do that. I can mix and match this with whatever I got. But in doing so, I'm able to build whatever kind of complex and beautiful thing I want. Or I can even get crazier, of course, and use the full page template. And like I showed you in the last video, just add this particular shortcode right in. So just to show you how ridiculous this could be, let's take something completely unrelated like this. I copy this whole page. I mean, come on, how simple is this? I'll paste it in the bottom. And you have to forgive me when I'm making the videos, sometimes my mouse is not happy with clicking. There we go. That's why it's much easier to do when you're not trying to record the screen at the same time. So in a second, this will paste in, hopefully. And once all that imagery and all the rest of the stuff loads, now this is how cool this is. I can find a place in this particular checkout where maybe it's useful, and I could just add the same checkout component, right? So let's say, for example, it was right here. All I would need to do is grab out that section, add the plus sign, put in shortcode, or I would just take the block that I have, and I believe it was LF tab checkout. I want to make sure it wasn't tabbed. It's LF tab checkout. And I only want to do this once, so I'm going to remove this one. And when I update the page, we'll see that that's as simple as it needs to be. When I refresh the page and I scroll down, I'll have this like ready to go thing inside of this other component. Now, one of the things you'll notice here, because this has a background that's dark, what I would probably have to do, which is simple too, is I'll take this component. It's a shortcode component. So what I like to do with the shortcodes is I like to group it, because in doing so, then I can use the background styling of Editor Plus, and I'll probably put like a white or a light background on this. And again, I can style it differently by making the colors of the font lighter, but in this case, watch what happens. I'll just maybe make it an insert, and there we go. So the possibilities are limitless. This is really just the beginning, but with LaunchFlows, you can literally have any page, any post, even any product shortly be your one-page checkout, build and save stuff that works in the way that most of the popular systems do, but without the overload of full platform. You don't have to set up flows and steps, and you don't have to use special templates from your page builder. Just do the Gutenberg thing, save it, and then put that inside of your other favorite theme or page builder. And it'll all work properly like you see here out of the box. So the experience for you and the experience for your buyers is whatever you want it to be. And that's it. This is Spence. I'll see you in the next video.